Hello everyone, my name is Jen and welcome to the book Refuge. My hair is going to do what it wants because I did turn the air off, but I still have a fan pointed at me, so my hair is just, you know, it's on its own. That's what I can offer. And yeah, you're seeing some arm. I'm wearing one of the tank tops from my shop, from my merch shop right now that says Dark Romance Queen, and I fucking love it. It's a razorback. It's amazing. Anyway, I'm wearing that Dark Romance Queen because we're doing dark historical romances. I looked and I realized the last time I did one of these was a whole year ago, and I was like, guess what? I've read a lot of dark historical since then. So these are gonna be maybe a little bit spicier. Maybe the themes are a bit darker. I'll tell you on maybe on like a scale of like how dark they are, because some of these definitely are more dark because of theme than because of action, and some of them are like, you know, this is a pretty kinky level dark. So we'll talk about it as we get to it, okay? Before we dive in, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, make sure you go ahead and hit the thumbs up and click that, or thumbs up is to like. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and click the bell if you want to be notified when I upload. I do upload 3 to 4 times a week. There's someone getting in and out of their car and splashing light across my face. It's so much fun. But anyway, make sure you do those things so that you know when I'm putting stuff up, because I do it regularly. So here we go. Let's dive in. So we're just gonna start with my list that I got here. So recently I read a duet. It was called The Villain's Duet. It was then I realized extended into a Villain's series because there's more books, but the first 2 books are duet. You do need to read both because the first one ends at the cliffhanger, but that is The Villain and the Dove by Vale. I think I found this one because The Villain was free and the description of this was right up my alley. This book is a bit kinky. It's pretty dark. It has a bit of a Beauty and the Beast twist. The heroine goes to see our hero to find out why he has a grudge against their family. He is trying to actively destroy her family and she doesn't know why. And he says, if you stay with me and be my pleasure toy for a month, then I'll maybe tell you what's going on. So that happens. He's Scottish. He's broody. It's delightful. These are difficult. You may want to slap this hero upside the head a couple times, but this was dark and spicy. So there you go. Then for the historical romance readathon, I actually read Marked by the Marquess by Alyson Chase. This one I wouldn't call as dark, but it is a bit of a mystery, a bit of, there is espionage going on. So there is a little bit of a darker bent to this book. This is actually book 4 in the Lords of Discipline. This was one that was free when I bought the ebook, and then of course I had to buy a physical one. This is also on Anyplay if you want to listen to it, so you can check it out there. I think the whole series is available there. I do want to read more of them. But our hero is Sinclair, who of course goes by Sin, and he accidentally compromises a lady when they're in a wine cellar. And he actually is ready to settle down and do this. He is on an espionage job at this point, but he is happy to take a wife. He thinks it would be good cover. He also wants an heir for his land, so he's like, let's do it. Our heroine is a bit of a scientist, although she's never able to claim anything under her own name. She has to do it under her father, and she is hesitant about love because her own mother she saw kind of go mad with love, is what she would say. Well, actually her mother had some mental health issues, so let's not blame that on love, shall we? So she's afraid of showing emotion, and our hero, guys, he falls hard and he falls fast for this woman, and he wants her to love him. And I really loved that the shoe was kind of on the other foot, but yet he didn't seem desperate. He just wanted her to acknowledge that she was having feelings, and I quite enjoyed this one. Then there is The Hunter by Kerrigan Byrne. So when I have done these videos before, I'm pretty sure I showed this series by Kerrigan Byrne. Most of the books in her Victorian Rebels I would consider a bit darker historical. This is one of my favorites from the series, if not my favorite. This is about Christopher Argent, who is an assassin, and about our heroine Millie, who is an actress and a single mother, and Christopher gets sent to kill her. But when she is performing this night at the theater, he is observing her and watching her, and she always picks someone in the crowd to perform to, and this night she chooses to perform to Christopher, and it seals her fate, as in saves her from being murdered, because oops, now he can't murder her. This is also one where like a hero has interesting thoughts about how sex is supposed to be done. Our hero grew up in a prison and saw his mother get raped many times, so definitely trigger warnings for that. And so he only knows like one way to have sex, and Millie is like, oh honey, we're gonna have to work on that. But this is a tortured hero. This is just, there's so many wonderful things about this book. By all Kerrigan Byrne books, but there you go. Then there is Thief of Shadows. We have a step back for this beauty. Thank you to my friends for sending this to me. I could say the entire Maiden Lane series I would consider darker historical, okay? We deal with themes of child enslavement, with assault. We deal with ritual sacrifices at points. Like, there is so many different things, but also there is Victorian Batman. Is it Victorian or Regency? Let me check. No, it is before then. It is Georgian. This is 1738. Okay, never mind. Anyway, it's historical Batman, okay? And this is my favorite one from the series, like hands down, so I figured I would show this one. But this series begins with Wiccan intentions, I think is the first one, and they all are pretty dark. So this one is about Winter Makepeace, who is the headmaster of a home for foundling children, and by night he is the ghost of St. Giles, which is basically historical Batman, and he needs to shape up as the foundling headmaster or they're going to replace him. And so Lady Isabel Beckenhall gets assigned to be his tutor in sharpening up. This is an older woman romance. This is a virgin hero romance. Again, there is dark themes within the series, but this book is one of my favorite books of the year. I love it so much, and I highly recommend you read the Maiden Lane series. It is the most satisfying if you start from book one, but it's amazing. Then there is The Ruin of Evangeline Jones. I also read this book. This is by Julia Bennet. I also read this for the Historical Romance Readathon. This was one I purchased for the cover, 1000%. Both books in this series have absolutely beautiful covers. But this one is about Alex Stanton, who just inherited a dukedom, and he likes to uncover charlatans and frauds. And so Evangeline Jones is a fake, and so he wants to find a way to bring her down. And that's all I'll say about this one. And there are some darker themes in this one as well. I think attempted assault is the only like trigger warning that like pops into mind for this one, but there might be more, so check it if you're sensitive. Scandal by Navessa Allen. Oh boy, do I love this chunk. Okay, I believe this one is on KU, maybe. Navessa Allen is a new find for me this year. She also watches the channel sometimes. Hi Navessa, if you're watching, love you. This book is about Catherine, who's the Duchess of Hampshire, and she is in a marriage of convenience to her husband John, and her husband John, it's a fake marriage because her husband actually has a lover named Henry Fletcher. But the reason this marriage of convenience happened is that something bad happened to Catherine, and John offered her a marriage of convenience because she happened to know that he had a male partner, and it didn't bother her. And he was like, I promise never to touch you because I already have a boyfriend, you know, but I will give you the protection of my name, and I could also use, you know, a beard. I could use a wife to keep the fortune hunters off of me, and I'll never touch you if you don't want me to. However, they've now been married for a couple years, and she has feelings for both John and Henry, and they both have feelings for her. That's right. This is an MMF historical romance that also has espionage and spies, and I freaking love it. It's amazing. This is also kind of a slow burn as well for what's happening in it. Then there is Kidnapped by the Pirate by Kierra Andrews. This is a male pirate romance. This is an age gap. This is a young man named Nathaniel is on his way to his arranged marriage. He's like 19 years old, and he gets kidnapped by pirates, and he's being held for ransom, and he ends up falling for the pirate captain. So there's also no non-consensual stuff in that one at all. There's actually Not any trigger warnings at all. Everything is consensual and comes about more out of curiosity for Nathaniel, and discovers that he has a thing for our hunky hawk, who is the pirate. So there you go. Then we have Love and War by Shirra Lynn. Yes, this is a World War II historical romance. So it's a modern historical romance. Look at this cover. I fucking love this book. Okay, I read this book around like Christmas time and it broke my heart, but it was so beautiful. This has 2 plus size characters. This has 2 older-ish characters. I think they're both in their 30s. This is about a cocktail singer named Victoire, and she is living in Nazi-occupied Paris. So this takes place in, you know, pre-World War II, or no, during World War II, 1940. And there is a surgeon named Emil von Koenig, and he's being forced to serve in the Reich right now, by his dad. His dad like tricks him into it, and then there's like no way out without death, basically. When he sees some soldiers messing with Victoire, and so he claims that she's his housekeeper to keep her from being assaulted. He saves her, and he brings her to his home and is literally like, you can be my housekeeper, you can just live here, you have no obligation to me, I just saw this happening and I had to save you. And she is very grateful. She's not a great housekeeper, but she tries her best. She's so thankful. She doesn't know what she's going to do or how to get to her family safely, so she stays with him. And there's a slow burn. This doesn't just happen overnight. This is very powerful. This is a very powerful story, and I understand why people would be scared to read it, but I promise you, number 1, this is pretty short. It's only 210 pages. Number 2, this is written by own voices. And number 3, the romance is so beautiful that it's worth a lot of the pain. If some of the things that I mentioned are triggers for you, stay away. I don't normally read anything in World War II at all, but I was approached by Shirra's PR to read this, and I regret nothing. Like, I freaking love it. So, anyway. I forgot that this one was personalized to me. It's so sweet. So, go read this book. She deserves some love. Then there is the Victorian Decadence Trilogy by S.M. LaViolette, and I believe this is his harlot, his valet, and his countess, I think are the 3 of them. These are very dark BDSM. There is cheating that happens in some of these. There is not abuse by any of the main characters, but we see abuse happening to people. These are dark, these are kinky, they involve brothels and prostitutes, but man, were these addicting. Like, I chewed through these. So S.M. LaViolette is the pen name for Minerva Spencer, who I have been enjoying her Rebels of the Ton series that's coming out. And when I found out she had a smutty, and not only smutty, but like smutty, historical, like real dirty, erotic, I gave it a try. So definitely check these out if you want some dark, like, I mean it. These ones, this is probably the darkest on my list. And then the last one I want to mention is Duke I'd Like to F. This is actually a novella collection. I read this book back around when I had my wisdom teeth out. My friend Crystal gave this to me as a gift, which is so sweet. This has 5 stories. There is Sierra Simone, Joanna Shoup, Eva Lee, Nicola Davison, and Adriana Herrera. I absolutely loved 4 out of the 5 of these. There was particularly the one by Eva Lee has an older woman, younger man. The one by Sierra Simone is a pretty big age gap, and it's also like fiance's dad one. She's not happy to be the guy's fiance. It's an arranged marriage, fiance, his dad type of thing. And these were all so good, and they all are erotic, and they're all like darker edged, but they were delightful. Like, honestly, this book is such a pick-me-up. I'll pick it up and read just one of the stories every now and then, and it was a great book to read when I was getting over losing my wisdom teeth, because I had 6 teeth out at once. Not just my wisdom teeth, but other ones. So there you go, y'all. Those are some darker historical romances to feed your twisted little minds, and if you're interested in being a dark romance queen like me, make sure you check out my merch shop down below. Thank you to all my channel members who support this channel, and if you're interested in those, check that out down below as well. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye.